Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Food Junkie, and I'm here to tell you a little story. And for this story, I'm gonna need some liquid courage. So, what I have is a pineapple Moscow Mule to help me get through it, and then I have some water to help me wash all this down. Well, I've told you previously that I'm a fashion designer. I recently graduated from fashion design, well, with a fashion design degree, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I've also, in that time since I graduated from fashion design school with a fashion design degree, I have shown two collections at New York Fashion Week, both at the Stuart Hotel, both within the same year. One of them was my senior collection. I showed it here in Atlanta at the school, which the video is shown on my channel. And the people liked it so much, they wanted me to come to New York and show something else. So while I was creating a second collection, or another collection, I should say, a brand new collection, I was also asked to, can I please bring some pieces from my senior show to actually show as well. I'm like, well, I really don't, the concept I have is a totally different concept now. So these two collections or these two things doesn't go together. They're like, fine, don't worry about it. We'll allow you to show two, one in the morning time, one at nighttime. Cool, so I did that. So, in showing these two collections, I've met a lot of people. I've run into a couple celebrities, a couple celebrity stylists, some reality show celebrities, and things like that. Um, yeah, it was cool. You know, got some offers, got some deals, made some moves, dressed a couple of people, things like that, styled a couple of people, and everything was cool. Everything was fine. Got a couple opportunities. Also had an opportunity to work with a major retailer, but that didn't fall through because the people I was working with, of course, didn't fall through on their end of the deal, which cost me. But it's okay. I'm okay with that. Um, but I come to you right now to tell you the story of how having integrity kept me from working with someone who said they can make me a lot of money. Well, after my show in New York, I put my portfolio together, a fashion portfolio, of course, and kind of shopped it around to see what I can do with it. Can I get some investors and things like that? Got contacted by one gentleman who said he was an investor. He was interested in working with me, diversifying what he already does and working into the fashion industry. He had no experience in the fashion industry, but he had experience in actually working with people who are money people, who are looking to diversify their income as well and their portfolio. So they're looking into something new or something different. So in doing that, we had several meetings over over a couple of months, where we kind of hashed out the inner workings of what it is that we wanted to do, how we can help each other, percentages, things like that. Just the business aspect of what's going on. So one of the last meetings we had, he started texting me with suggestive stuff. You know, oh, I think you're attractive. We should go out to dinner. We should hang out. Da da da. Mind you, this person is when he been doing what he been doing before I was even born. You know, didn't look his age, but at the same time, still was on this earth doing what he does way before I was even thought of. So I asked questions such as, why should we have dinner? You know, because me not thinking about anything silly, but thinking about, you know, the business aspect, everything we talked about, we have had meetings and we've had, you know, conversations about it over the phone. So when I decided to meet him one spot, we met previously, but when I decided to go hang out with him, have dinner or whatever, he started making these suggestive things towards me. Oh, you're really attractive. I like the way you carry yourself. I like the way you present yourself. X, Y, Z. Mind you, I didn't look like this. I, of course, dressed accordingly to conduct business, of course, you know. And I kind of got a weird vibe from him. And then things kind of turned from the worse. But before they actually turned, he was still sending me suggestive text messages, suggestive things such as, you know, on the sexual aspect of it. I'm like, whoa, this is not what this is about. This is not what I do. This is not what I'm going to do. I will not sleep with someone just to get ahead. I will not sleep with someone just to get something, out of it for myself, even if it will advance me financially. And I say that because he showed me during that dinner his portfolio, what he said he was worth, what he said people he worked with, such that type of money that he has gotten for his projects that he has bankrolled or backed before. The deal was, I will own 55% of my brand, and he will own 10% of the brand, and the investors will own the other 35% of the brand. So that all add up to 100%. My whole thing was I wanted to make sure that whatever I do or whoever I do it with, I will be in control of my image, my brand, my marketing, things of that nature. All I needed was financial backing to move forward to do what I want to do in the industry. So he made a comment such as, "Oh, well, I'll be cutting the checks and X, Y, Z." Okay, you'll be cutting the checks, but that don't mean you have control over anything, is what I'm thinking. So I let it go, whatever. But then it kind of bothered me, a couple things that he was saying. So I met with him again, and this time we met at his home. Now, mind you, what he showed me on paper didn't match what was physically in his home. It wasn't bad, but I don't have access to millions of dollars. I don't have it. I just don't have it. But my house looked better than his home did, And the fact that I was much younger than him, and he's been doing this much, and he's been in the industry, so he said much longer than I have been. I just expected a little bit more to his living situation than it was. So with that, I'm just still listening to him, talking to him, whatever. And then I brought up the things that he said at the previous meeting, such as, what do you mean about you be cutting the checks? I don't want to have to come to you if I need money to buy fabric, or if I need money for marketing, or if I need money for XYZ. I need you to put me into touch with people who have faith and trust in what I do based on my portfolio and my business plan, so that they will cut me a check and I can have access to all money at all times without having having someone to go through. He's like, well, yeah, you have access to everything. Well, it's not, but I still want to be the go-between between you and the investors, because, I have a relationship with these people. Fine, that's cool. But I don't want to have to come to you if I need to buy a pen for an office, or if I need office space, or if I need warehouse space, or if I need to hire an illustrator or a seamstress or something like that to help me get what I need to get done. He's like, yeah, no, I understand that, but you need to understand that I'm cutting the checks nonetheless. I'm like, okay, cool. He keep mentioning cutting the checks as if it's going to be more than one check. And it may be, but I want it to go straight to an account that I have access to. I don't want to have to go to you and ask you to write me a check for XYZ. That's not here or there. We got past that. He understood that I'm not going to move forward unless I have total access to everything that have my brand, my name attached to it. I don't want to give control of that aspect to anyone. So with that, we got past that. Then he said something that was extremely weird. He said something like, so I know a guy that is, anyone who knows fashion knows about the FCDA. He's like, well, I know one of the members of the board of the FACD or CFDA. Sorry about that. Well, anybody who knows fashion knows the organization that pretty much controls a lot in the fashion thing, the one that Anna Wintour is a part of as well. So he said he knew somebody that have access to the board of that. Trying to, draw me in, stoke my interest and things like that. So I'm interested, but I'm still side-eyeing them because I don't know who you are, I don't know what you do, and I still don't know how you know this individual since you don't have any access or any knowledge about fashion. But he does have access to people who have money. He also has access to people who know people, because he himself is in the oil and fuel industry. He have patents on with his name on it, with different devices and different sterno canisters and things like that, type of fuel type of things that made lots of money. And so I've done the research on him and the products that he's shown me that he said he invented or helped push into the market. So I know he do have contacts with people in the industry that know other people that can possibly know someone in fashion. So cool. But he said, when I take you to New York, we're going to have to, and I'm like, well, I've already been to New York. That's not something that, I need. I've done New York. I know people in New York. I have my own contacts in New York. He's like, well, no, I mean, to meet with the head or one of the people on the board of this organization. When I take you there to meet them, what do you think about sharing a room with me? I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. That's not what we're going to do, He's like, well, you don't think that I should get something out of the deal? Basically, is what he tried to come at me with. I'm like, yeah, you're getting 10%. That's what you're getting out of the deal. You're like a broker. That's a brokerage fee that you're going to get out of the deal. You're not going to get anything more than that. You're like, well, you don't think that you're going to get, like you. I think that you're cool. I think that you're attractive. I think that you're XYZ. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. That's not something that I'm interested in. That's not something that I'm about. That's not something that I want to do with you. That's not something that I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You're like, well, let me just explain something to you. And this is what I told him straight up. I'm like, I would never sleep with you. I would never sleep with anyone for money or for an opportunity to get money. Because if I do that, that messes with my integrity. And also, I understand that once I do it once, that can be held over my head for me to do it over and over and over again and do stuff that I don't want to do, with the promise and aspects of either gaining some type of money or losing some type of gains that I've already had based on what we've done previously. Like, well, no, I didn't say it like that. But I told him, yes, you did say it like that. That's how I understood it. That's what you pretty much said, because you made a comment basically saying that I will have to owe you pretty much. And the fact that you keep mentioning that you're cutting the checks is something that people do in order for them to establish their control over someone else. And as you understand, I'm not someone who can be controlled for any reason, shape, or form. So he tried to assure me that everything was fine, everything was cool. I'm like, cool, everything's fine. Then I'm like, okay, well, this isn't what I think it's going to be. So I don't think that we can work together anymore. I don't think that. I don't thank you for the time we spent. Was not over the past couple of months working with each other, working on my business plan, working on XYZ. But I don't think that it's going to work out, because I feel uncomfortable for one, and secondly, I feel that you want something more than what I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give you, a partnership. I'm trying to give you a brokerage fee, and that's it. I'm not trying to give you, me. That's not what it's about. You're not going to own anything other than that 10% that we agreed upon. All bank is going to be in my name. Money will come from you or through you to my account that I set up, but it's not going to be something that you will control if we move forward with this. He assured me that everything was fine, everything was cool. But he still, after I left that situation, he still kept sending me suggestive texts. Oh, it was nice seeing you. You smelled good. You look nice. I still find you attractive. But he will slip those things in while talking about people that he have run across in the fashion industry or in the apparel industry. I'm like, okay, what is this coming to? What is this about? I just stood up asking, what is this about? What is it that you think is just going to happen? And I just told him, I'm not going to sleep with you for an opportunity. I'm not going to sleep with you for you to help me in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to happen. And I'm not sending you pictures of me. I'm not sending you pictures of my private parts. That's not what's going to happen. Don't ask me again for that, because he asked me once, send me a picture of, at least have a picture of you naked. no, what the fuck I look like? Sorry for cussing. But I'm like, what do I look like? You know what I'm saying? That's not what I do. You're not going to have a picture of me and then use that against me at a later date to try to blackmail me to do something that I don't want to do in order to get something that you want and I don't want. So, long story short, after I made it abundantly clear that I'm not going to ever sleep with him and that, if we're going to move forward and work together or work with each other, it's going to be strictly business only. Keep your feelings and whatever else aside, but it would never be more than just business between you and I. And he assumed everything was fine. Then he hit me with, oh yeah, I'm gonna be out of town, out of the country for the next couple of weeks. So if you need anything, just call my assistant and we'll, work it out through that. And when I get back in town, I'll hit you up. It's been 4 or 5 months now. I probably want to say 6 months now since I've heard from him. And my thing is, in this world, in this industry, well, in the world in general, you will find people who want you to do things that you're not willing to do, with the hopes and promises that they will help you get where you want to be. But if you don't give them what they want, they think that the threat of taking it away will push you or drive you to give them what they want, but you don't want. I talk a lot, so thus far I'm still new to YouTube, but thus far I've been making a lot of videos about integrity and strength and knowing oneself and acknowledging oneself and being true to oneself and things like that. I'm this way, or been expressing this side of me, because first of all, it is me. I'm always going to be true to myself first before I'm true to anyone else. One. But two is that I truly believe that if you don't allow yourself to know yourself fully and know what you will and won't do and couldn't stand for, you're going to fall for anything. You're going to fall for someone who is going to use you to the point to where you have no more you left. And if I chose to even go that route with this individual, I would have lost who I was. I would have lost the skills that I have that makes me me. I would have lost everything that made me who I am. Everything that makes me who people are attracted to. Not physically attracted to, but just spiritually attracted to. People who like me because I am someone who where I stand. I am someone who believes in themselves. And be it this was a true opportunity to succeed or not. Why is this camera blurry? Be it this a true opportunity to succeed and excel in the industry or not, I made the conscious decision not to go that route, because as long as I'm staying true to myself, I'm going to be where I need to be because of my talent and because of my steadfastness and because of the fact that I am meant to be there. What is meant for me is for me. And I believe in my bone marrow that God has meant for me to be successful in whatever that I do, whatever I put my mind to, whatever I put my skills to and my talent to. So, like I said earlier in this video, if I would have not stayed true and had integrity within myself, which is doing the right thing for myself, I probably would have been somewhere in the fashion industry, or I might have been somewhere, used up somewhere. And the funny thing about it is that he didn't want, it's going to be a little graphic, another drink for that. He didn't want me to do anything to him. Well, I should say, he didn't want to do anything to me. He wanted me to do everything to him. He wanted to perform oral sex on me. He wanted me to have anal sex with him, as far as he wanted me to enter him. He wanted all these things that I'm just not willing to do. I was willing to do with him. Because first of all, you're not my type. Secondly, I may have physically been able to do those things as far as getting an erection was not, but morally and spiritually, I just wasn't able to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that I am is, while another drink, while I'm extremely sexual, an extremely sexual person, I have to at least be into you. You know, I have to at least have an attraction toward you. You know, I have to have some type of feelings toward you in a sexual way. We could have been cool as friends, but sexually was not something I would have been compatible with. You know, because you just wasn't my type. You know, just wasn't my type. You know, because once I saw that he had no integrity, even if I was attracted to him, it wouldn't have allowed me to do anything with him because his level of integrity wasn't there. His level of, I won't say responsibility, but his level of, his ownership of his own feelings and moods and things like that wasn't where I needed it to be for anyone that I to have a relationship with. So, like I said, this was a little story I just came to you with because this is something that happened to me, something that I experienced, and I thought about it throughout the day. I made a video earlier about this, and somehow my phone erased it or the battery die or whatever, so it didn't tape fully and completely. But I tell you this story. Sorry, getting tongue tied now. I'm telling you this story to just say, have faith in who you are. Have faith in what you do, what you're about, what you believe in, because you can't go wrong with that. And it may not get you where you need to be at this moment, but it will get you where you need to be in life. It will get you there later rather than sooner. And just because you get it slower or later in life doesn't mean that it's not going to be just as sweet or just as gratifying for you when you receive it later on in life. Not everything is meant for you to have at this moment. Not everything is meant for you to have right now. Take pride in the fact that you know who you are and you're not willing to compromise that individual for anyone, regardless how much money that is promised to you or how much success that is promised to you. Like I said previous in this video, I'm employed at 3 different companies right now. And I don't mind working hard for what I have and what I want in life. And when it's meant for me to be successful or break out into whatever industry that I break out into, is going to happen. You know, I still have contacts in the fashion world. I still have contacts in the celebrity world, the entertainment field. I still do a little work here and there, you know, with them. But I don't want to be in my sewing room sewing all day long. That's not what I do. I'm a creative person. My creative energy and medium as an artist comes in the form of cooking, comes in the form of drink making, comes in the form of painting, drawing, sketching, sewing, you know, poetry, things of that nature. You know, I'm an artist in its true form. And I don't mind waiting and working hard to, you know, hone my craft so when I am ready and get the right opportunities to do something with it, I shine. It's not something that is forced or I have to work too hard at. It just comes naturally for me and to me. So that's why I wasn't too pressed when I didn't get a phone call from him, because that opportunity wasn't meant to be. The opportunity may have been a great opportunity for me to succeed, but it just wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant to be. So, in saying that, I say this, as I always say, love yourself first. Love someone else. Respect yourself and respect someone else. If you like this story or like my videos, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share it. Pass it to someone else who may learn something from it. This is Food Junkie coming to you. Until next time, have a great day. Peace.